Let's talk about alignment. You have goals in your life that you seek to accomplish, but are you aligned to those outcomes? You have to understand that you have a finite amount of time on earth, and the resources that you have been provided by infinite intelligence to produce through productivity the outcomes that you want in life is time and energy. And to squander and waste time and energy into negative habits, into indulgences that do nothing but hinder you, take away the ability to actually cohere to the things that you want most out of life, to sit there and be a marginal fraction of what you could have been, to sit there and be a low-level piece of shit, stifling bitch your entire fucking life, to go your entire life unaware to the fact you're a fucking failure. And every time you put your time and energy into failure habits, well, guess what, bitch? That's what the fuck you're gonna reflect. And so, guys, alignment is the only path of life, to align with your higher self, to walk the path of being the best you. And most of you guys go through life the lowest version of you, this watered down piece of shit of what you actually are deep within. The version of you that is actively taking away the possibility, the potentiality that could turn into a possibility every time you sit there and sabotage yourself. You are the biggest weapon against yourself. So open your fucking eyes and realize that you only live once. Your time is you're losing time as we speak. The moment you just lost a moment ago is a moment you'll never get back. And you just wasted that shit. And let's not even get into all the time you've wasted in your life. If we could pull up a calculator and see the time you've wasted in numbers, it would be more than your fucking bank account. So do yourself a favor and actually take a step forward instead of stay in the same fucking spot while sinking in quicksand your entire fucking life. You have to understand that version of you have to understand your mind is literally trying to provoke you into doing something productive with your life. You don't want to be less. When you look in the mirror and see you're fat, and then you get the initial thought to go to the gym, and you ignore that thought to go to the gym, you just ignored the authentic voice of God, which is your consciousness telling you to be a better individual instead of that low-level bitch in the mirror. So understand that before you get mad at life, before you get mad at people, before you get mad at anything around you, get mad at yourself for being that piece of shit, whatever the fuck that fraction of what you could have been in the mirror is. You piece of shit. You could have ate an entire pizza box, but you're a dumbass thought that one pizza would be enough to fulfill you and leave your stomach filled, and now you quench with hunger as you starve your entire fucking life. And now you're gonna have to know that the potentiality of grabbing the whole box was always there, but you were too much of a lazy piece of shit to put in the work. You have to understand that the only thing between where you are and where you want to go is the work. And all you pussies always neglect the responsibility to respond accordingly, to put in the fucking work for your life. And then when you have this unformed, low-level reflection of a reality, this cadence of an existence, this false perception of what you think you are, this low-level inadequacy of a reverberation into the fucking cosmos. I mean, when you experience yourself at the highest level, you have to understand that those things will root away. And to experience yourself at the highest level is to go and tackle and challenge yourself and to pursue your development. In a world where everyone rather sit there underdeveloped, sit there under-evolved, you have to understand that your development is your evolution. And to never evolve in life is to go against the fucking law of the universe. The nature of the universe, you are going against that. To sit there and contract instead of expand. The only thing the universe has done since the beginning of fucking time was expand. So if you're not expanding in every area of life, you're going against the fucking universe and you're making us look like shit. And so when we say you're shit and you look like shit, and then you look in the mirror and your body reflects shit, and then we look at your life and you're, stagnating in shit, you have to understand that you need to uncover the gold within you, and it begins in the gym. If you can't wake up for your life and do something for yourself, which is going to be productive, leave you in a higher state of being, to feel more positive, to rid all the negative energy that everything in your life is trying to induce into you, to rid everything channel that and transmute that into something positive while constructing yourself. To ignore that and to choose to be lazy is to hate yourself at the highest level. A lot of you say you love yourself until it's time to prove your love through action. Everyone loves, the vape more than themselves because they rather sit there and, vape and kill themselves just for a quick buzz instead of look in the mirror and realize that they're a fat, out of shape bitch. And the only time they actually notice that they're fat and out of shape bitches is when, they walk in the store with their girl and then their girl is looking at everyone else but them because they're so fucking insecure. And now is the moment to reflect on how much of an inadequate, primate, underdeveloped piece of stagnating shit bitch you actually are in truth. You have to understand that I'm not attacking you. I'm telling you the fucking truth. And no one's going to ever tell you the truth at the highest level because no one wants to actually crumble your reality so you can build a new one. You have to understand that you lived a life of a lie until this point. Everything you've experienced in your life, if you have not perceived it with in-depth, if you perceived your entire life with ineptitude to go your entire life unaware to the 99% of information that was left beyond your awareness because you didn't have the capacity to perceive it, you didn't have the consciousness to actually perceive beyond what is in front of you, to see more than the still expression of externalized, concoctions of mediocrity, to see beyond the veils and to actually tear off the fabrics of what the fuck they're really trying to project. All these fucks are so fucking fake. You can't love anyone if you don't love yourself. So if you're not loving yourself at the highest level, bitch, remember that you can't love anyone or anything. So you have to understand that to love yourself at the highest level is to love everything at the highest level because you are experiencing yourself and you will reflect yourself. Your expression is a reflection of you. So if you love yourself at the highest level and you prove that through action, well, you will go through your entire life loving everything. And to love something doesn't mean you have to sit there and fake a smile like, everyone does. To love something is to see it in truth. To see yourself in truth is to love yourself, and then to fix that through action is to love yourself at the highest level. You need to see yourself through the truth. No one wants to tell you the truth, and the truth is you are a bitch. So do yourself a favor, admit you are a bitch, and move accordingly. And when I say move accordingly, I don't mean act like a bitch. I mean do something to fix the bitch in the mirror, or you will die a bitch. And so when we call you inferior, when we call you pussy, it's because you are inferior and you are a pussy because every day we woke up with mad intention and we channeled that aggression, that masculine, divine masculine energy into our fucking goals. And so when you sit there and you feel like a bitch in our fucking presence, it's because you are a bitch and you never admitted it. So now you're manifesting these externalized emotions of being an insecure pussy when all you had to do was look in the mirror, confront the bitch, and do everything to destroy him and decimate his existence every fucking day. There's two versions of you in you. You have to understand that there's literally two brain hemispheres, bro. There's two halves, bro. Bro, that's a whole different fucking level of fucking enlightenment. Just understand that you have two versions within you. The highest version and the lowest version. It's you versus you, and you're fucking losing, and, you're a horrible example of what to be. If you had a son and that son followed in your footsteps, would that son be led to greatness? If the answer is fucking no, well, you're a bitch and you need to do some shit to fix that shit. And, all this, this false morality, this fucking slave morality, the only morality is superior conduct. Being the best all the time to give the best to yourself and others. And the best isn't what the fuck you perceive it to be. The best is the best, not your best, not what you think is the best, not the fake inadequacy of, this, whatever the fuck, this psychological mask that you try to project into reality. I mean, we see beyond the fucking, the mask that you put on every fucking morning. You're not the individual you are when you're smiling and talking to everyone. You are the individual when you are alone in your room at 12, a.m., and it's just you and yourself. That's who the fuck you are. So before you sit there and try to put on a smile and look at other people like they're crazy when all they're doing is speaking the truth, remember that you are not the individual who's sitting there with a nervous fucking smile. You're the individual who picks up a bottle and poisons themselves every day. You are the individual who sits there with a vape and has an internalized motivation to passively kill themselves. You are the individual who sits there and watch pixels of people having sex to jerk your dick off and to come on your own sheets and to sleep in the sheets you just came on. That's who the fuck you are. And remember that we don't do any of that shit because superior conduct is the only superiority. And if you're okay with being inferior, that's you, but that ain't us. So do yourself a favor, join the self-development community, link in the description. Do yourself a fucking favor, DM me on Instagram, and actually repair your mindset instead of operate at this state of cognitive dissonance to yourself. You are living a lie, and you are lying to yourself at the highest level. You didn't want to smile in Shirley's face yesterday, but you did it, and you went against yourself. The real ones don't fold to their consciousness. When your consciousness doesn't want to smile, it ain't gonna fake that shit, because that's going against yourself. There's levels to going against yourself. You could passively kill yourself with a vape in a bottle. You'll go against yourself at a high level. You could go against your self-expression. When you don't want to smile, don't fucking smile. Literally. You're not a bad person if you're just being yourself to the fullest expression. To go against your own expression is to be a bad person to yourself. So are you going to have this internalized, dissonance to yourself? Or are you going to say, fuck the world, pursue your development, and, if anyone feels some type of way about it, tell them to fucking suck, your fucking dick. Because, if anything, they're fucking, who gives a fuck, bro? You only live once and your time is decreasing. To protrude your fucking existence into mine, for me to have to be aware of you when you step into my existential awareness, and then for me to have to conform to your perception because you want to experience this false reality that you've created, this fictional state of being that you've created for yourself, to lie yourself every day, to lie to yourself that vaping isn't bad, to say that weed is gonna make you relax, and it's just a little blunt. To go against yourself every day when you have this version of you within you so fucking powerful, and to betray yourself, and then to want us to conform to your fucking mediocrity. The only power is superior conduct and channeled into a direction which is greatness. So walk the path of being great, or walk the path of being a bitch. And the path of being a bitch is inferior fucking conduct. And your conscience knows what the fuck inferior conduct is, and your conscience knows what the fuck superior conduct is. So before you sit there and make an excuse, you know what the fuck is right and wrong, and you definitely have neurons in your brain to facilitate a fucking thought process to know what the fuck is right or wrong. So we're not gonna have to sit here and explain to you what the fuck inferior or superior conduct is. The only reflection of you is your conduct. You can have this belief system, you can have this, thought process of who you think you are, this concept of self, but the only reflection of you is what you put your time and energy into, in the qualitative state of your being, the qualitative state of your energy. So if you have high exertion, if you harness yourself to have a certain level of imperialistic willpower, well, that's what the fuck you are. If you can wake up every day and never miss the assigned wake up, 3 a.m., never missed it. You never missed the 3:45 a.m. workout at the 24-hour gym, never missed it. You never missed the 5 a.m. workout at the 5 a.m. gym, never miss it. Never miss the macro count every single fucking day. And to never miss a workout every single fucking day. And to never miss a page out of the book every single fucking day. When you never miss a day, that's when you actually start to become who the fuck you are. All of you guys are missing life, and you're complaining that life isn't what you want it to be. Maybe you should become the individual you want to be before you try to experience and create the life you want to live, because you have to experience yourself in the life you want to create. And if anything, your reality is a mirror of who the fuck you are. So do yourself a favor and create the individual you need to become, instead of remain that low level inferior fucking primate. Peace.